Hello everyone, hope you're doing great today. Appreciate those of you who watch this video. Hope you enjoy it. Also appreciate those of you who have subscribed. Thank you very much. Today we're going to be talking about a classic, an oldie but a goodie, starring Gary Cooper and Barbara Stanwyck. Hopefully I pronounced her last name right. Called Ball of Fire. Now when I first watched this movie, I was watching and I was like, man, I know I've seen this movie before, but I also knew I'd never seen this movie before. So I was kind of confused. Like, you got that little argument in your head. Like, I've seen this movie before, but I know for a fact I haven't seen this movie before. Why does it feel so familiar? And then as the movie, about 5 or 10 more minutes pass, like, oh, this is Song is Born. A Song is Born, starring Danny Kaye. Though this movie, Ball of Fire, came out before A Song is Born is starring Danny Kaye, but it's basically the same movie. There are little differences in this one. While in A Song is Born with Danny Kaye, it's musicians, and they take in a mafia's boss's girlfriend. And this one, you got 8 guys who are like scientist types, scholars. Let's call them scholars, who are trying to write an encyclopedia. And our star here, Gary Cooper, he is trying to add in slang into the encyclopedia. So he runs into Barbara Stanwyck's character, and she's saying all these slang words. And so he wants to use her to help him put in what slang people are using today and what these words mean. And she just happens to be a girlfriend of a mob boss who's in trouble with the police, and they kind of need to hide her out so that the police doesn't take her in and ask her questions, and she ends up, tattletelling on the mafia boss. And then, you got this little love triangle kind of here where the mafia boss wants to marry her so she can't testify against him. And then she's kind of torn, she starts to fall in love with Gary Cooper's character and these 8 guys, the dwarfs, I guess. It's kind of like Snow White a little bit, because you got, instead of 7 dwarfs, you got 8 dwarfs. And so she starts to fall in love with Gary Cooper, and she likes the people around him, his friends, so she kind of likes that lifestyle. And so, she has to choose between Gary Cooper and the mafia boss, and the mafia boss isn't going to let that go too lightly. Overall, it's a pretty good movie. I'm probably in the minority in this. At least IMDb tells me I am in the minority in this one. Is that I do enjoy the Danny Kaye movie a little bit better than this one. I feel like the Danny Kaye movie has more energy. Probably because Danny Kaye, you ever watched Danny Kaye in a movie? That dude had a lot of energy in his movies, man. The only reason I've seen a lot of Danny Kaye movies is he's my wife's favorite actor. So I've seen a few of them, and he is like very energetic. And this was kind of mellow, kind of slower, kind of drags on a little bit. But, overall, the acting is still good. Gary Cooper really puts in a good performance. So does Barbara Stanwyck. I don't know, though. I say that, but when I think of her character, she's supposed to be like this wisecracking, street smart girl. And she does a pretty good job with it, I guess. I mean, I guess it's what they felt like those kind of people acted like back then. And I didn't live. That's way before my time. It's about 20, 30 years before I was born. So I don't know what wisecracking, street smart girls talked like back then or how they acted. But it was pretty tame, right? Compared to today. Plus what they could put on the big screen, I guess. It might have been a little bit stricter back then. Who knows what society would let them do back then. But I guess she carries out the role pretty good. I mean, she's not terrible, but I do feel like maybe she was miscast a little bit. I don't know what other actresses from that time period they could have put in there that could have done a good job with that role. So she's probably the best choice they had, maybe. I know a lot of actresses back there, but, running them through my head, and none of them really come to mind who could pull that off better than she did. There's some parts I did like about this movie. I did like how she gave the maid was in on her. She'd find out why she was staying at that house with those men, and she was about to blow her cover. And she gave that maid a pretty good short right hook. It was pretty cool. I like that part. I found that part kind of funny. There was some other parts I did enjoy. Let me see what else I enjoyed about this. 8 Nights Beauty. I guess the interactions between the guys and the girl was kind of funny. They were all like all wholesome dudes. None of them had a girlfriend before. It looks like they all blew their load the first time she came into the building. Like these guys had never seen a pretty girl before. They were all tongue-tied when they saw her. Didn't know how to treat her, didn't know how to speak to her. I guess that was kind of amusing, seeing the interactions between them and her. I still feel like A Song Was Born was done better than this one. But overall, it was enjoyable. If you've never seen Gary Cooper, have you ever seen a Gary Cooper movie or a Barbara Stanwyck movie? I've seen some Gary Cooper movies before, but I've never seen a Barbara Stanwyck, as far as I can remember, movie before. So it was nice seeing her on screen. It was also nice seeing a movie that I haven't seen with Gary Cooper on there as well. So it was pleasant. I did enjoy it for those reasons. I thought, they did live up to their fame and to their to their fame. But overall, I would just, not highly recommend this one. It's recommended for you if you want to see a good old movie. It's something to tune in. You can see it on Amazon Prime. Overall, I made it through. I didn't think it was bad, but I do think A Song Is Born is better than this one. And if you see one, I don't really see the need to see the other one, because they're basically like the same movie, almost scene for scene. I'm trying to remember, it's been a while since I've seen A Song Is Born, but it's pretty much the exact same movie. And even the little research I did, the director of A Song Is Born made Virginia Mayo watch this movie like over and over again so she could get the actions of Barbara Stanwyck down. So he wanted her to act just like Barbara Stanwyck. So, I mean, that's another thing. So if you see one movie, I don't know, if you want something that's a little bit more funnier and more energetic, I would probably go for A Song Is Born over Ball of Fire. There we go. Anyways, have you seen this movie? What did you think of it? Do you like Song Is Born better than Ball of Fire? Have you seen Song Is Born? Let me know below what you guys think. Have a great day. Bye.